I'm live. Alan and Carrie. Outshine, it's here and Jennifer's here. Hold on, let me so you can see my face. There I am. Should I be bigger? I won't be bigger right now. Fuck it, I'm gonna be bigger. Here I go. I hope everybody's doing well. I'm gonna let the throngs of people come in, try to find a seat. We have an open bar to the right. We've got a nacho bar to the left. Hey, Mama Cannoli. So get to the bars, get you some nachos. Let's do this. This is actually a lot of information, but don't worry. It's going to be fine. Hey, Mike Clancy. Hey, Deborah. So good. Alan, I hope you're well if I didn't say it before. Hey, Curious Idea. A protein smoothie, you big. You know what? I've never had one, but I probably should have one. I probably should, but I probably should. Yeah, do that. I want, you know why I don't like, well, I'm going to say I don't like them, but I make fun of people who drink protein shakes because I watch Big Brother. And on every cast that's ever been of Big Brother, US, anyway, you've had these heads, have pint, my sweet Sarah, I love you. You get these people that, yeah, I got a protein shake and I'm going to work out. Yeah, okay. And then they drink a protein shake after they work out. I mean, I just rather have one from, Cookout. Just a second ago, not a second ago, but a little while ago. I love you so much, Sarah. My mother is on gabapentin. Yeah, the last blood work. Hey, listen, it happens. Hey, Melissa. My mother has to take 3 gabapentins 3 times a day. And so I keep up with, because if I don't keep up with the bottles of it, if I don't give them out, like here's a bottle, she'll lose it, or she won't forget to take it. I can tell you that. Hey, Sassy Sarah, you tell Aunt Kathy I love her, and I love you. Well, she lost the last bottle that I gave her, so she is supposed to take 3 tonight. I was inside my gut, son. I was literally under my mom's bed about 10 minutes ago. Under my mom's bed, got something hung and lamp started going. Never found it, but I did find 3 gabapentin in the floor. You got to do what you got to do. So I said, I've got people waiting on me. I have to go, mother. So here, take these 3 that we found. We'll worry about it tomorrow. Gray. Y'all, Gray. That if you do not sub to her husband's work is their artist. It's just peachy. Hey, Lois, shut the fuck up. She did a drawing of Kurt Cobain that looks like a photograph. It's that detailed. And the things what is it? I can't even remember now what the husband does. They're like sculpture. Was it a sculpture? He did one. He has one of Superman. I'm gonna think about it in a minute. Christopher Reeves. He did that looks like Christopher Reeves is, because it's him as Superman. And she posted it, and I kept going back, flip, because I couldn't really believe it. He's a wife, sorry. Sorry. Hey, Janica. Sorry, Gregory. I've been under my mom's bed for half an hour. I'm a little shaken. Hey, Halloween, baby. How is everybody doing? I hope that's doing well. I cooking with Amanda Panda. How are y'all? Should I be in the think tank? Here's a Clancy. I haven't watched her. I like if I know what she's done, it's because I'm watching, the clip channels. Because when she goes live, it makes me want to kick puppies. That's how upset I get. I just get mad. Well, I just want to kick puppies. My friend, I'm sorry, Gray Ray. Telling you, I've been under the goddamn bed. I do. Thank you, Halloween baby. It was not a good week a couple weeks ago. It was not a good week. Shannon, sorry. Oh, hold on. I got ghost on. Sorry. It was not a good, but we have them, don't we? We all have them. Mine just kind of, Yeah, no, I want, I want to kick puppies. I want to smack baby kittens. And I want to beat baby seals over the head when I hear her voice or anything that she has to say, because she's so fucking contaminated and stupid and wrong. And I've been doing this for how long? 112 years. L. Kennedy. Now, L. Kennedy, I love watching your videos. L. Kennedy works out with a hoop. I don't even, do you call it a hula hoop? Because, a hula hoop is something a kid plays with. She don't play with these things, honey. No, she doesn't. No, she doesn't. Everybody's always so... that's why I love about YouTube, and I love about this community, and I love about how communities can grow. Is there's so many interesting people that I would never meet. So I introduced my friend in real life to that part of it. Yeah. Well, I could never do that. Okay, damn. Fucking damn. Look at that. Anissa the beautiful. Hey, Suzette. The only thing I know about the American. Right. And that was the worst season, Suzette, in my opinion. And it's just my opinion. But I thought that season of American Horror Story was one of the worst. And listen, they even ended that thing early. And I get it. But, this is it's pretty interesting. Fat girl. Thank you, fat girl. Thank you. Thank you so much. She always does this to me at the beginning, and she messes me up. But I'll forgive her. We're going to have to do a slight... Hey, Sarah Bailey. We're going to have to do a really slight... Oh, I love you, that girl, to death. A slight history lesson, but I'm not going to be boring because, this is a pretty interesting story. And I forgot that we get a twofer. This is a twofer. 2 for 1. We've got one mystery, and then about 900 years later, we get another mystery connected. It's very exciting stuff. And then I look. So I was supposed to do this last week, right?
What is up, everybody?
Oh, stop. Ghost, get off my damn phone. We were supposed to do this last week. 5 days ago, in the New York Times, somebody put forth, I love you, girl. I love you so much. Yeah, they said that they had solved it. It's been solved, people. The lost colony of Roanoke through all hogwash and this shit. And I'm like, well, that is news to me. Obviously, they knew we were on their tails. They knew we were getting ready to solve it. I'm like, let's solve it. But so let's just start with the I'm going to try to make this little bitty history lesson fun. You ready? So obviously every major country in the world in 1580, 1480, 1380, if they could make a boat, they tried to go sail off into the world, figure out what it was. They didn't really, hey, Rachel, my sweet. So England, as we know, was always looking for, some new territory. But about two or three, this happened. What we're going to go through happened in 1584, 1585, 1587, 1590. So that's pretty early. This is pre Jamestown. This is pre, the Plymouth Rock. No, it's all before that. And actually, one guy did land on the barrier. Let me put this up. I come with things. Amen, mama. So before I start, in I want to say 14 something, 15, early 1500s, a guy from France was sailing around in the Atlantic and landed on the Barrier Island, Outer Banks, what it is now known. He thought he was on the West Coast. So he got excited. He sailed back to France, and they kind of laid everything out and was like, dude, you do not know that was not the West Coast, because they didn't know nothing about a West Coast, if you think about it. But they knew now something was up. And then when they looked at the, what the explorer came back with, and they were like, we'll pass. I'm definitely going to watch this. Oh, honey, go to bed. Go rest. So they didn't do it. So now we get up to the Virgin Queen Elizabeth. Virgin my ass. But Virgin Queen. And a guy named Walter Raleigh. And she said, you know what? I need some new stuff. I need you to go out there and find something new that is not already settled by a Christian king. Those are her words. That is already not settled by another Christian king. So Walter Raleigh's like, hells yeah. Let's go. This is what I've been wanting to do. And he gets up a gang of people, and he gets himself a couple of boats. Now you see this illustration here. What they would do when they left England is they would go down, 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 off the coast of Africa. You are late, watcher, but that's all right. Then they would sail up through Florida, Georgia, everywhere. So the Spaniards had all those islands already. All right, so the Spaniards had got them. Nobody was getting them back. They also had Florida. They had some of Georgia. And so they literally had to keep going until, So they hit these islands that I happen to have. All right. Now, these were the Outer Banks as they were then. A lot of this is gone now. So they hit these Outer Banks, and they said, you know what? This is just perfect. We can go in here into the little, there. It will protect us. Spain won't be able to see us because there's, this Outer Bank. And we can get out easily. This is the perfect. And then they landed on Roanoke Island. They said, this is perfect. There's Indians, but that's okay. They made friends with the Indians. They made friends with the Croatoan Indians. They made friends with the Roanoke Indians, both of which had islands 50 miles apart. That's important to remember too. Murder or Spanish, I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. No, Spanish had, you talking about the Florida and all those? That was Spain. And we don't want nothing to do with Spain. They get out. So eventually they leave. This is the best visit you can even, This was trading, goods. This was watching each other's cultures. It was like everybody loved everybody. And even a man called Manchese from the Roanoke tribe and a man called Mantino, they went with the explorers, the settlers, back to England to soak up their culture. They were given permission to do a fort on Roanoke's Island, right? So they took the two Indians back. A year later, they brought them back. They brought 600 men with them and a lot of ships. And they started. Here's the problem. They showed up at the end of spring. Even though they had provisions. Probably no, I'm sorry if that girl. Now, I'm going to read to you. I'm going to read Midnight Baker. How one of the men in the 1584 thing. This is what he said about this land. You ready? So this was Philip Amadeus and Arthur Barlow. Now, they said the following. When they returned to England, it is as the most beautiful and pleasant to behold, replenished with deer, conies, I don't even know what that was. I forgot to look that up, hares and divers, beast, and about the goodest, welcome down, the goodest fish in the world, and in a great abundance of commodities. They got this thing. They're selling. Queen Elizabeth said, you know what? I'll buy that. Let's do that. So sit back over. Who by now? No, they didn't. There was a problem brewing. There was a problem brewing in England. They were getting ready to go to war with Spain. All right. And this was a much anticipated war. This was going to be a war of in the sea. That's the only way they could get there. So Queen Elizabeth relied on Sir Walter Raleigh. Now she's knighted him, so it's a sir now. She depended on him so much. She would, Mr. Guest, she wouldn't let him go back with them. Well, they get there. Let me see. All right, look. Here's what I do. I'm not gonna lie. I will go steal these from people's things. Here, I love you. I will go to somebody, a bigger channel, obviously, and steal the graphics. Sorry, I don't know how to do it. So here's 600 men, all the supplies they would need for an entire year. And they are taking their little route right off of Africa and hit that Florida, go. And this is like one of their basic ships, pretty big. 600 men on that many ships, it's a lot of men, but hey, I'm not trying to. Oh no, does this look like it's in peril? Well, it is, because these big ships tried to cross into Roanoke Island, and it was not deep enough for the ships. So they lost ship after ship trying to get it in there. And that meant that they lost all of their provisions. And so this again was at the end of spring. All right. And there's only so much you can do as a tribe. You're not going to be able to feed 600 men. So that became a problem. Now I'm going to tell you what happened. Oh, this was not good. And this is what I'm going to explain to you is the series of events that happened that were too stupid. Just ignorant. And but you know what? It's all in the books now, babies. All right, so they lost all their provisions. I mean, for some reason they were at the Indians, doors going, "Hey, you make me a sandwich. Can you make my friend a sandwich? Can you make my 600 friend sandwiches?" Shit show. I thought y'all were on now. I thought y'all were on now. Yeah, in this time too, Wayne Cheese and his friend had come back from America. So Mateo loved America. Well, it's not America, sorry. England. He loved England. He loved everything about it. He loved learning to read. He loved the books, the streets, everything that they had that he didn't. He loved it. But I mean, he's still, coming home. Oddly enough, here's a side note. His mother was the chieftain of Roanoke. She was a Roanoke chief. So this shows you how these Indians are like, they're pretty fucking cool. However, Wayne Cheese did not like England. He hated everything about it. He hated the people. He hated the food. He hated the books. He hated the street. He hated the air. He hated the birds. He hated everything. So when they came back, hey, look at me. It was not good. I would love to know what happened. The thing with this thing right here is that we only have one side of the story. The Indians didn't jot down. So we only have one side of the story. And we only have, and there's a lot of negative, and this stone is bad. What's getting ready to happen is bad. So I think we have a Captain Lane who brought all these men in and who lost all the ships, because if you can get one through, stop trying to get the other ones through. That's just me. I am not a captain. But if I was, when the first one hit, I was like, we back up and find something else because this is a mess. There was a chief. There was a chief. Let me find his name. Let me find his name. I had it all written down. It's all here. Don't worry about nothing. I got it all. So there was a chief. It wasn't Powhatan. Hold on, guys. Oh, yeah. This is not good at all. I'm just trying to. I know y'all can't see what I'm looking at. All right. So anyway, there was a commander, and I can't remember this Indian's name, but I'll come through in a minute. He thought the English one said, "Ain't that damn Indian chief is looking funny at me. I believe he got a plan. I think he's gonna effing try to kill us." And all of his men went, "What?" And he said, "Yeah, I think they are." So at that time, the chief said, "You know what? I believe those white bastards are gonna try something." And his people went, "You think?" And Wayne Cheese, who hates him, said, "Yeah. Hey, Steve, yeah. So it became a thing. So let me find his name. It's gonna bug the hell out of me. It's been on my mind all day. I can't remember his name. Oh, that's why I don't have this. So Captain Lane, the chief moved all of his people off of Roanoke Island. The chief moved, said, "Everybody, y'all get off this island. Something's getting ready to go down. I don't know what it is, but that white guy is looking at me funny. And I'm about to fuck him up." That was exactly what was said too. I read it. So it's coming. If I can't remember his name, I'm gonna throw something. There's Wayne Cheese. Wayne Cheese made a lot of trouble. He was a lot of trouble. Hold on, I cannot forget this guy's name. It's gonna drive me nuts. How's everyone? Oh, Winjana. I knew. All right, Winjana. Winjana was his name, and I don't know why I didn't. Here is the fort. Now, what I don't know, this is what they were building. This is what the Indians said they could build. If you see photos like, oh, not photos, but pictures like this, it's always depicting a different size. Always. It's never, you're never going to get one that's got all these and you count them down. You're never going to find another photograph or picture that has the same amount. Yeah, no, throwing things, you're right. So, with this, why I put this up now was obviously to show the fort, but I do not know if those men built those buildings and homes in there first, or if it was just the fort, because it's not real clear at all. And this is a horrible picture of wow, it was a horrible. This is where you see that name. I can't pronounce it, but that's where he sent all of his people. Winjana. There's Winjana. How are you? Hello, sir. See what I'm? You see here what I mean? It's like I put these up because it's never the same. But so Captain Lane took some men. They went over to that little to the mainland. They massacred the Indian tribe. They killed Winjana. They cut his head off. They put it on a pike outside of the fort. And so that's a problem because they were literally surrounded by Indians, different types of Indians, but they were surrounded. And you come in there and you massacre them and you put his head on a pike on his island. Now, as cheesy as that is, and I would say, man, cheesy. Hey, Bad Madison. Sir Walter Drake had been hanging out in the Caribbean. My hand to God with this. Hanging out in the Caribbean, him and his friends. So he said, what? He stopped by. He said, hey, hey, y'all. Yeah, what's going on? 2 weeks later, he shows up, stops by the island and says, what's going on? And they were like, can we go with you back home? Because we have fucking pissed this whole goddamn everything off in this area. He was like, sure. Hey, Kills. He said, sure, come on. Come on. We ain't doing that. Come on. So they got away. But they left 15 men. They left 15 men on the island. I don't know why, but they did. So, I mean, this is just crazy, crazy. Oh, there was all right. So on this voyage, on that second, right? The first one went great. Second one, not so much. Not so much. The third one, John White. He's a captain. All right. And he decides that after this disastrous trip, because he was there on the second trip, he fairy dust. He was on that second trip. He knows what happens. All right. He said, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to take a colony over there. They were called, different things. He was going to put a proper colony with men, women, and children on that island. Bad decision 17. Hey, Brantley. So the queen said, whatever. Whatever. I'm a virgin. I don't know nothing. But, just be careful. And he was like, okay, Queenie. So he puts 115 people, including his wife, his daughter, his daughter's husband. Oh, wait a minute. His daughter's pregnant. And so is another passenger. There's 2 pregnant women. Welcome, fairy dust. So they sailed 10 weeks or 76 days. That's how long it took on one of these boats that I showed you. Let's go back and look so we don't forget. We don't want to forget. All right, so these people are on this boat for 10 effing weeks. Another thing that I thought, and let me go back to that, is do y'all know if you're on the East Coast, you know exactly where. Hey, Duck Froggies, you know exactly where hurricanes start, and it's right off this part. I don't know why I try to point like y'all can see me. It's off this point in Africa. Any hurricane spins right off that coast, during the season. I can't imagine how many boats were lost, before they figured it out. But that's just me. So he has decided to bring 115 men, women, and children, his pregnant daughter included. And they have a guy. Well, they have like a driver. And it's Simeon Fernandez. Simeon Fernandez has actually this is the third time he's made this exact voyage. They were supposed to go up to Chesapeake Bay. They were the orders. Y'all go up to the Chesapeake Bay. It's deeper. It goes in further. And that's the prime place to go. And they said, not a problem. Well, Captain John, thank you, Anna. Thank you. No, thank y'all for coming and watching me be dumb. So they get over, the captain says, hey, Kennedy. Oh, I already said hi to you. Sorry. I was under my mom's bed. That's what I'm saying. John White says, let's stop by Roanoke Island and see if those 15 men are still there. Okay. Mr. Fernandez said, okay. Then when they got there, and there were no men to be seen anywhere. They went out to the fort, right? And there was a pile of human remains. Thank you. A pile of human remains. They can only assume it was one of the men, but the other men cannot be found. So John is walking back to the boat, and Fernandez says, no, I ain't going all the way up to Chesapeake. Y'all are stopping here. Get your shit off. Now, Mr. John White is the captain. This dude is the navigator. But he said, no, you're getting off here. I'm not going up there. It's only about nope, I'm lying. I think it's 200 miles. And so for a month, they too came late, right? In the planting season. I don't know if they didn't realize that England had the same kind of seasons. I don't know. But they came, yeah. And here's the thing that's wonderful is that Mr. Fernandez gave them a month to get the shit off the damn. He sat there a month and didn't move. He could have been up to the Chesapeake Bay. He just didn't do it. I don't know why. But they got their stuff off, and John White forgot that he was the captain. And John White forgot what happened when he was there before. He forgot a lot. So they asked him, please, can you, please, John White, the governor of this, this settlement, and to be called Virginia for the Virgin Queen. They said, can you please go back with Mr. Fernandez and go get supplies because we didn't think about food and shit like that. And he was like, I really don't want to go back. And they were like, well, you're the goddamn. They said, you're the damn governor. You going? And he was like, all right. So he said, but I'm going to miss the birth of my granddaughter. So when I went over this 100 times, here's what I said. He said, I'm going to miss the birth of my granddaughter. Hey, little note. And cue the labor pains. Because she went into labor. It's like, oh. And so Eleanor White Dare gave birth to the very first child on the new land, meaning from us. Hey, Colette. And her name was Virginia Dare. Virginia for the land. You gotta get it. Okay, so good. He can go now. Go get us some stuff. We're hungry. So they go behind they go into the fort. He goes off to England because when they went back to England, they went right across. They didn't do that shit. They caught the trade winds, is what they would do coming up. Well, once he got to England, there was a problem. And the problem was that the Spanish War was absolutely getting ready to happen. So when the boat came in, hey, Monchichi, the Queen said, no boats leave. No, not while this war is going to go on, So, but during this time, 2 weeks after they landed, right after he left, a boat came up fully loaded with supplies and men, but they couldn't find them. They went to look for those people went to look for them. They couldn't find them. I think a week later, another boat, because the Queen would send stuff. Don't get me wrong. So would Sir Walter Raleigh. He'd make sure, but also they also thought they were up at the Chesapeake. It was just a folly of stupid. So there's no way that John White was going to be able to get back to Roanoke Island. Not going to happen. Just not going to happen. So 3 long years passed. And John White, hold on, let me see, hold on. All right, there was 45 miles between between Croatoa and Roanoke. Here, I just love this picture. They were supposed to be up here in the Chesapeake Bay. I always forget, y'all know. Well, hello. There's Mateo. Hey, Mateo, what you doing? That's Mateo, who would lead people back. He was he loved people. He loved the whole everything. Oh, I've gone too far. So the war is over or doesn't even pan out, And Mr. White catches a ride on a boat. He's not the captain. He's just a guy. Hey, Janet. And they go to Roanoke. He sees a great light, a fire. He sees a great fire. Now, this is in every single version of people, the great fire. He didn't know if it was man-made or not. And all of these people were going to go towards the light. They could never get there. They could never, ever get there. So I don't know what that was. That's weird to me. They could never get to it. And they would, crazy. Now, on a tree, I know I have forgotten about 5,000 things. I'm going to kick myself in the ass. On a tree, and I'll show you. Now, if you saw American Horror Story, CRO. And then they found Croatoan. Now, this is not on a tree. It never was. This was on a post. I think they began to carve it on the tree, which is why we have the CRO. But this was actually on a post outside of the fort, which was still standing, by the way. And when he went into the fort, every home had been dismantled. This had been ransacked, burnt down. Every home had been dismantled and taken away. There were 7 chests, some iron, and something else that Indians really wouldn't have had any use for. So this was quite, this was quite odd. Except for he told his people, listen, if you move, Yeah, but mind you, he thinks he's coming back in about what, 2 months, 3 months, 3 years later. He said, if y'all move, carve it on something so I can get to you. If you're under distress, carve a Maltese cross with it. And I'll know. So we have Croatoan here. So now he's got to go to Croatoan, right? He's got to go to Croatoan now because that's on here. That's what they did. That's English. Well, they got out. They got on the boat. They were going to go swip down the 45 miles to go down to the Croatoan, and a huge. It was probably a hurricane, honestly, but it was a huge storm, and it broke the chain on the anchor, broke the chain in half. And they didn't have a backup anchor, so they had to go home. They couldn't even go drop him off. They kept getting blown out and blown out and blown out. So he never went back. Hello.
Is everything okay, Doctor?
Fine. Come on, I'm live. What are you doing?
Your photos up?
What are you doing? I got my photos up. I ain't stupid. I got my photos up. I don't know how I did it. So John White never again saw his wife, his daughter, his granddaughter. He never tried to come back. You're in the bushes, bad medicine. So, because I'm gonna try to condense this. Here we are. We're in 1590. Let's see, 1607. They came through again. Somebody came through to look for them. They couldn't find anything. Nothing. I think it was 1701. Some people came through. No. But there were some odd things going around in the tribe. Some odd markings. So some in a later tribe, this is 100 years later, right? They had Indian children with blonde hair and blue eyes. That didn't make no sense. Not albino, but albino was brought up because albinism is more prevalent in the Native American communities than it is anywhere else. Now, blonde hair, blue eyes, I don't know. And then if you went down to Croatoan, there were children down there with gray eyes. And they would point to ships, right, at way out, and say, that's John. I mean, that's Sir Walter Raleigh. Not a ship. That's Sir Walter Raleigh. So, were they, did they assimilate into the different colonies of Native Americans? Were they massacred? Was there a storm? Did they move? Because John White said, well, we had talked about moving 50 miles inward, inland. Did they do that? The ships were gone. They had at their disposal, not really ships, but they were really small ship, like boats, really. Not a ship, but they were gone. And of course, you would think somebody would have knocked on the Indians' fort and go, hey, right on the end of the street there's my friend, No, there's no more mention of these people. There's no more mention of like Indian lore, anything like that, except for the blonde hair, blue eyed, and the gray eyes. That's really the only thing that's mentioned. There was one part where somebody landed on the island and they wanted the Indians, the Native Americans said, "Do you want us to take you to to the people that wear English clothes?" And they were like, "What?" They didn't go. So, does anybody have an opinion on where they could have gone? Because a lot of people said, "Ah, yeah, they just assimilated into the different tribes." When they finally colonized Jamestown, which is in the Chesapeake Bay, they were actually surrounded by different tribes, and this was the same thing in North Carolina, which is now North Carolina. They oh shit. All right, does anybody have an opinion? I'd like to teach you right now. If you don't have an opinion, I'm going to hit you with my stick. Because I used to think I knew, but I don't know. I have no idea at all what could have happened to those poor people. And the idiots that thought it was a good idea. What the hell? Really? Really? Mr. White thought it was a good idea to fuck up some Native Americans and then come back with, 115 men, women, and children? Great idea, dude. And come back and be such a puss that you're not going to tell for Samuel, to friggin' I can't. Hey, Sean, I was giving him a great history lesson on Sir Walter Raleigh, the Virgin Queen. Wink, wink. Who else? Hey, Lily, I love you too, baby. What's this? Sir Walter Raleigh. We got John White. We got Sir Francis Drake, who came up and were like, "Hey," after the settlers had massacred a particular Indian tribe, and Sir Walter Drake got it, palms up and goes, "Hey, y'all need a ride?" Because they were like, "Get us the fuck up out of here. We done fucked up some shit." All right. So I told you we had a twofer. I've always wondered they made. I don't know, but we have a twofer. We have a twofer here, I'm telling you. And so this was in 1590. Then we had 16 something, and then 1701. So these are all the, In 1937, a guy in North Carolina who was over here on the Chowtown River just happens. He's from California. He's just a tourist. Hello. He said he was trying to get hickory nuts. And up here, you see how high this is? This is the river. And he comes across a stone. Now, the stone that you're seeing right now is 21 pounds. I saw a doctor say that they were in. That's what they say. That is what they say. I don't know. I hope they were. That's all I have to say. So on this particular stone, this is on the front and this is the back. And this was found by, what is his name? Lewis Hammond. And he was visiting the area, looking for hickory nuts. I don't know what the hell he's looking for. And he found this stone. Now, what you're seeing right here is, you'll see. Yeah, you'll see what it really looks like. But hold on. So on the front of this stone, which is where the cross is, it says, Ananias Dare and Virginia went hence to heaven, 1591. And then on the bottom it says, any Englishman show this rock to John White, governor of Virginia. That was on the front right there. This is a quartz. It's quartz, heavily quartzed. Shit, I can't say the word. Heavily quartzed. There you go. Damn. On the back, we got a whole nother story. On the back, and I'm telling y'all, this is like, see, that's like the actual size. And this again is embellished right here because you'll see in a second. Oh, you can see right here. It's not like there's no color. It's right here. When I first saw the embellished photo, I said, okay, well, the rock under it must be really white. You know, they've gotten down to that. No. And they took a big spot here at the bottom. They took a slice out of that thing to verify. It can't be verified. So on the back right there, let me get back to that. On the back, oh God, this ad. All right, so it says father. This is from supposedly Eleanor White Dare, so his daughter. Father, soon after you, and sorry, I keep. This is in Old English. All right, on the rock. Old English on a Old English on a rock. I don't know whoever did this, but they did a great job. Father, soon after you go for England, we came here. Yeah, that would be the Croton River. Only misery and war for 2 years. I'm adding some of these words, like 4 and all that, because it's above half dead these 2 years, more from sickness, being 24. So she's saying that 24 people have died. Savage with message of a ship came to us with a small space of time. They became frightened of revenge and ran all away. He began it was not you. He began it, not you. Or we believe it was not you. Sorry. Soon after, the savages said spirits were angry. Suddenly, they murdered all save 7. So now we've got 24 dead from, I guess, sickness and whatnot. And we have everyone but 7 killed by the Indians. Hey, Hokey, how are you doing, love? So up here, let's still go. It's my child and Ananias too were slain with much misery. Now, this is the important part. Buried all near 4 miles east of this river upon a small hill. Names were written all there on a rock. Put this there also. Savage shows this to you. We promised you would give them great plenty of presents. And then it's her initials. Now, so don't get excited. No, get excited because this is kind of a big deal if it's true. Yeah, those are the symbols, Earth. And like I said, you can go look at it or it's, hey, boss, what are you doing? How you been? I'm doing real good, baby. So this was the first stone found, and it was found on the river bank. And Mr. Harmon took it up to Emory University in Georgia, and they looked at it and they said, well, I mean, it's definitely period-wise the way they would write. You know, they really couldn't just, they couldn't do anything. They couldn't say it was or wasn't. They had no clue. So a whole team of scientists go back to this area. A couple from another smaller university, too. And they look and they look and they look and they look and they look, and there's nothing to be found. Now, listen, might remind you 1590, 1937. I live on the east coast of this country. And but any of y'all know there'll be floods, there'll be storms, there'll be this, there'll be that over that period of time. That's a long period. That's a lot of centuries. So to think that that stone just sat there on a riverbank for that many, hundreds of years. I'm not saying it didn't. I'll go back and look. Okay, yeah, that's really interesting, Art. It's interesting. I enjoyed this one. Well, it came down to Mr. Hammond decided, listen, I don't want this stupid thing. Can y'all buy it for me, Emory University? And they said, no, we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that, but we appreciate everything. And one of the scientists from another college, Brendo College, he wanted it. And he asked his daddy, who owned the college, to buy the stone. And his daddy did. Now, here we go again. Here we go. We're going to go toss it around now. So they looked as a family, whatever. They went, they even bought one hillside that they thought it could be. They bought it so they could just strip it and find and see. I mean, we're looking for mass graves now, right? No other rocks were found. Nothing anywhere near this. If you get a list, what is it, 24 people, and then the other people on a stone, it'll be a big damn stone. That's just me. So these ignorant people, you say that like well-educated people are the dumbest people on earth. They go down to the area, right? They go down to the area, and let's go back and look at the area. And I'm not. Oh yeah, sorry. Just that little bit of area right there. They go there and they hold a big community meeting. They say, you know what? We think another stone's here. We are going to give you $500 if you can bring us the other stone. I don't know if they told them what was on the stone, what should be on the stone. No, I can tell you that they didn't. Duh, I just learned this. So all these stones started showing up for them to they're like, well, that's not it. Well, what the hell is that? That is a picture of a chicken. I don't know. What is that? They don't know, right? But they all look like this first stone. And they're offered $500. Thank you, Aunt Kathy. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it so much. Oh, let me look. Hold on. I gotta move my thing. I gotta move my shit now. This damn stone. All right. What did I write over here? Okay, sorry. I don't know what that's gibberish. That's gibberish. So, all right. Let me find this guy. This dude, Bill Eberhart from Fulton County, Georgia, keeps bringing all these stones, right? And he's like, here's one. Well, here's the deal with him. He lived in Georgia, number one. Number two is he was a stonesmith by trade, and he only had the education of a third grader. So how is this guy getting Old English? I'm going to tell you why. Because when the stone didn't show up after they knew it would, they told, like Eberhard, here's what it looks like. Listen, it's going to be a lot of names. It's going to be a lot of names. And mind you, a lot of names that nobody else knows because they're long dead. And there's nothing here that tells me what their names are. He was like, okay, hold on a minute. He'd go back, right? You like to lodge a complaint? Well, you know, I'd hit the damn link and get up here. That's how we handle it. We fight. All right. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with, listen, there are some, I'm sure, genius people. This guy was a genius. Genius. So yeah, 1939, he just made several visits to the the college with new things. So now we've got 49 stones, if you include the first one, which again cannot be verified or disproven. So the only stone, because they went back and they looked at the way these ones that Mr. Eberhard was bringing, right? They looked up and they looked at it, and then they looked at it really well, and they think, okay, because they knew the chisel, they knew that the colonists, the settlers, had chisels and mallets to do this, right? They knew that. That was, everybody knew that. So that's one thing, that, and the way it was cut, where it was cut, it was big. It was huge. Yeah, they're not all big like this, though. And I was going to try to get a picture of all of them. No, ma'am. No, sir, no, ma'am. Nope. So there came a point where the Eberhards and I'll never give it back. It's not, if I have your heart, you're never giving it back. I'm not having it. There was one that was, oh, here's some good. I did write some down. So stone number 2 said, Father, we go southwest. They went southwest. And I guess that, no, it would not have been. It would have been, they would have had to have gone. No, so that's not, so here's the island right over here, the island, the barrier islands. So no, I don't think that's it. But again, remember, he didn't know what to write. He didn't know that it was just names of people. And then let's see, the second one was, one of them was supposedly was found near the Chattahoochee River. Don't think that's going to be one of them either, but I don't know. So when they told him what to say, like I said, Eberhard went and looked for more stones. Eberhard was finding stones left and right. So we have the Fulton County stones. There's just a few. Let me see. One of them said that Eleanor had been living in a cave since 1593. Another one said that Eleanor married a chieftain in 1593. So I don't know how accurate, unless she married the chief and they lived in a cave. Hey, I'm not judging, I'm not judging. So when they started to go through Mr. Eberhardt's work, it was pretty, it was pretty clear that they were fake. So, but that stupid thing still has it. That's stupid. So this is what he would have found. Now that I can see, okay, I can see that's weird. If I saw that, I would probably pick that up. So I take that back. These are all the other stones. It's just like, what? So they have all been proven not to be real. Here's another Virginia Dare. I don't know what he put right there. I'll put that map up again. Oh, I know why. No, do I know why? Oh, I was having trouble finding that river. The river, the Chowtown River. And so I had put this up. It's hard to find, let me tell you. Just exactly where it was. And then here we are now. Here's what these are all the Indian tribes that were in that area. This is when they were on the Outer Banks. And again, relations were friendly until, there we go, I'm done with that. So now the first stone is the only stone that can't be refuted. All right, like I said it before. I would if I had to, Aunt Kathy, but you know what? I'm going to go. I don't know. I would, you know what would happen? My finger would fall off or something. So we have a twofer. We have a twofer with where the settlers went. We have a twofer on, is this stone legitimate? We know the other ones are not. We know that none of the other ones are. The second stone has never been found, if it exists. And that's what made this so huge, is we know, hey, sincerely see Era. I love you, baby. I love you. I love you. I hope everything's good. You know I do. I love you. You know, obviously, if this first rock is true and real, then we know there is a second rock because she refers to it. So we know if that's real, it's out there. Where can it be? I don't even know. I don't know. This is one of those mysteries that I don't think will. Okay, well, this. All right, I'll take that back. So there have been a lot of. They've been searching for these people since 1895, and I mean people here, people in America. They have been excavating everything since 1895, looking for them. Now they still are to this day. And they say, "Oh, we have it. Oh, we found it all. We found it. We've got, English buckles and whatnot in an island that was only Indian." Well, we know that whole area was visited before we ever got there. We had the French guy that thought he was on the West Coast. We had people that were looking for a way to the West Coast. They thought there would be something, obviously not knowing that they were just going to be able to take a river and go to the West Coast. Not quite. So there will be English. I think you could probably find English things of that period everywhere on Earth, mixed in. That's my opinion. I don't know. Also, they've been doing all of this DNA on people that live in that area and have always lived in that area. And as far as I know, it's never really panned out the way they wanted it to. Nothing, because if it did, it would be solved. It would be solved. If all of it had happened, it would be solved. You had the Algonquins that were very nice to these people. You had the Croatoans that were nice to these people. Above that, I don't know, but these people were welcomed. Oh, here's what happened too on the second trip, the bad trip. Every time a colonist would enter the Native Americans' home, area, they would die. They would just literally drop dead because the English had all these pathogens and stuff, and so the Indians actually thought they had invisible bullets because they couldn't figure out what was going on. Hey, Tennessee, honey. So that was another problem. I could beat on this forever. They were kind to them, and that second trip that was full mainly of soldiers, and by an idiot, Well, listen, I have to dress them up. If I don't, and this is what I love, Tennessee honey, is that what I do hope is that y'all get really interested in this and go look it up for yourself. It's absolutely interesting. There's no way I could give you every single fact because y'all know. Listen, I forget more than I forget a lot. I forget so much, and I make these notes and I never look at them. Probably should, but it's just so interesting. It's kind of like getting yourself out of. It's like reading a book. You can get to go all the way. You can go. I went all the way back, and I was hanging out with them. Yeah, I hope the DNA does come back and say that that is. I hope, but it's been so long. And I don't know what kind of sensitive DNA you would have to pick, test to pick this up. It doesn't seem like it'd be that hard. So that's why I always say if it were that, we would, we would know about it. It wouldn't be a mystery. It's a great mystery. It's a great. I liked this. I like this one a lot, actually, because it was so many layers of just so many trips, so many things. Well, I appreciate it, my sweet sassy Sarah. I try. I try. I always thought if I had a better history teacher, I shouldn't put them down though. They're probably dead now, so I'm not gonna say it. I gotta be entertained, or I'll lose interest. Next time I'll be talking about the Son of Sam killer and doing a little hoochie coochie dance or whatever we do next. Does anybody have anything they're interested in? They want to do? Anybody? Oh, y'all know what I got to do because I am done. But I'll talk. We got to put the Lost Colony in there with our other friends. Curious, thank you. I know you wear some of it. Oh, okay. Let me tell you something about Jamestown. Don't get me started on that. I'm in Virginia, right? Yeah. I have 4 kids that went through school. 4. All right. And every year in the 4th grade, they had to do a model of Jamestown. FU teachers. So the first year, right, me and my daughter do the damn thing. It's beautiful. Thank you, Halloween baby. Take it to school. We get a C. A C? I don't think so. That's all right. 8 years later, because my kids are very small, far apart, it's about 8 years later. Daughter number 2. And guess what we had to do? We had to make a damn model of Jamestown. We went into effects with this. All right. I had water, like it looked like deep water. It wasn't. It looked like it. We had the popsicle sticks that we burn up a little bit so they would, look like weathered wood. We fastened them with this and that and the other. We got an A for that one, actually. We got an A for that one. Yeah. Then I had to do it 2 more times. I don't know why I just didn't, after the A, keep it wrapped up in the basement and just flick it out and go, here, there's your thing, take it on. We got an A. Yay! But we also got to go to Jamestown. And it was always rotten weather. Yeah, that's my thing with Jamestown. I've had to do those damn things. Please. Oh, God, Elaine Warnos. Let's see. Lost. I think Lost Colony is all we need. And we're going to put every little thing in here, all my little weird stuff. One day people are going to find me. My husband's trying to find me. Like, those little bitty file cabinets? He's ever since we said we needed one, we haven't been able to find one. But I'm going to have my, oh my goodness. This is the stupid shit that I have laying. That's how many. I might need to take a picture of this to my therapist. I think I might have to take a picture of this to my therapist. Yeah, everything's clean and good. All right. And guess what? They're in there. Wow. All right. I went to the Container Store today and I love the Container Store. God, I love the Container Store. I love anything see-through and plastic. Because my husband for me every month gets the what is it, beauty box? Whatever it is. I can't remember. No, ain't Brick Box. He gets me that. and they're full size. And so I've got Catherine, who's 18, who takes some of it. Um, the other two daughters, if they come over, they're going through. We're taking this palette and these brushes, and I need this cleaner. Oh my god, that's what they sound like when they do it. So anyway, guys, I want to thank you all. I'll figure out tomorrow if y'all don't under this comment if you have anything that you've ever wanted to find out about. It's got to be 20 years or older. I might start bending that rule, but I don't know. I love you all for showing up. I thank you for your all of your super chats and all of your attention and all of your hearts. Thank you, Anna, and all of you for joining and being a member for that long. I'm telling you, I'm going to somebody's going to teach me how to do the I did my own little thingies the first time. I don't know how to do it. Just so thank God. Oh, well, Jen and Matt might be it. You know, that might be. I hope this is solved. No, thank y'all. Don't thank me. Thank y'all. Because if I didn't, and listen, if I couldn't spend Saturday night with y'all, I don't know what I would do. And that's the truth. I don't know what I would do. You know, I enjoy doing all the work, so that you know. But if I couldn't spend it with y'all, last Saturday night I wasn't in a good place, but I really missed y'all. Like, so I cried a little bit. I cried because I missed y'all. Oh, okay. Yeah, thank you. Yes, thank you. That would be great. Yeah, I just cried. It was crazy. I cried. I miss y'all. I love you to Uranus and back as well, Earth. So we'll figure out what we'll do next week, and I'll figure out soon and post it if y'all don't have a suggestion. I'm gonna go upstairs now because it's hot in here and I don't like it. So I love y'all very much. Thank you so much again for being here, for the support, all the support. You don't know how much it means to me. You really, really, you don't know. I wish you did, but you don't know. And I love you, and I'll see you around this week. I'm going to start going live a little bit more. Don't know if I'm going to dive into the drama stuff. I don't even, I don't know. I might, but I don't know. I love you all though. Bye. I love you. Good night.